You are $500 away from a system that replaces your paycheck. Most people chase get rich quick schemes, but they ignore the three precise income streams that built Warren Buffett's empire. The third method is the secret. It functions like an automated wealth generator that works while you sleep. Stop gambling your savings on volatility. Instead, we are looking at the exact blueprint required to initialize these cash flow engines starting today. Most people think building multiple streams of income is about working three different jobs or sacrificing your sanity for a side hustle. That is how you burn out. True wealth building is about aligning your capital with systems that function without your daily participation. Here is the first, easiest win: high yield cash management. You might think your savings account is doing fine, but if you're earning less than 4% on your cash, you are effectively paying the bank to hold your money. In 2023, the Federal Reserve kept interest rates elevated. This shifted the landscape for the average saver. My friend Marcus had $10,000 sitting in a traditional checking account for 3 years. He was making pennies. When he moved that capital into a high yield savings account or a money market fund, he suddenly started earning about $400 a year in passive interest. That is $400 for doing absolutely nothing but moving his money. It is the lowest hanging fruit in finance. You do not need to be a CEO to open these accounts. You just need the initiative to log into your bank's website or brokerage platform like Fidelity and select a higher yielding option. It sounds small, but think about the compounding effect over a decade. That is the baseline. Now, here is where it gets interesting and, frankly, a bit more tactical. We are moving past simple savings into the realm of dividend growth. This is the second stream. Many people fear the stock market because they look at it like a casino, but the wealthy look at it like a business owner looks at their shop. When you buy shares of a dividend-paying company, you are purchasing a permanent slice of a profit-sharing machine. Look at a company like Johnson & Johnson or Procter & Gamble. These businesses have increased their dividends for over 50 consecutive years. Even through the recessions of 2008 or the global pandemic of 2020, these payments kept hitting their investors' accounts like clockwork. If you invest $500 into a basket of these reliable, dividend-growing stocks, you are no longer just a spectator. You are a landlord, but instead of worrying about broken pipes and leaking roofs, you are collecting a yield from companies that have thousands of employees doing the work for you. Does the market fluctuate? Of course. But for a dividend investor, a market dip is actually a gift. When the price of the stock drops, your dividend yield percentage often goes up if the company maintains its payout. You get to buy more shares for less money, which increases your total income stream even faster. If you find this approach to building wealth helpful, consider hitting subscribe. I drop videos every week that break down these financial systems in simple, plain English. We have one more method to cover, and honestly, it is the one that really changes the game. Okay, so we have established a high yield baseline and we have built a foundation of dividend paying assets. But what if I told you there is something even better? This is the third stream. This is the one I have been saving for you. We are talking about intellectual property and scalable digital assets. This is different from the first two because it requires a heavy upfront investment of your own time rather than your capital. But once it is built, the marginal cost of producing one more unit is effectively zero. Think about it. If you write a technical guide, film a course, or create a specific software API that solves a genuine problem for a specific group of people, you can sell that asset once and then sell it again and again and again. A software engineer I know spent 3 months building a plugin for a popular web platform. It cost him nothing but time. He priced it at $50. He sold 600 units in the first year alone. That is $30,000 of pure profit from a single static digital asset. He did not have to hire a team. He did not have to manage an office. He just had to maintain the code for an hour every month. That is true leverage. The reason the wealthy do this so effectively is that they stop trading time for money. In the first stream, you use capital to earn interest. In the second stream, you use capital to own equity. In this third stream, you use your brain to create an asset that earns capital while you sleep. It really is that simple, even if it is not easy. When you combine these three, high yield cash, dividend equity, and scalable digital assets, you are not just working for a living anymore. You are building a machine. And once you see the world this way, you cannot unsee it. Let that sink in for a second. You don't have to change your entire life overnight. Start with that high yield account. Get your cash working. Then allocate a small percentage of your paycheck to dividend stocks. Then ask yourself what problem you can solve that people are willing to pay for repeatedly. That is the pathway. There you go. 3 real, actionable ways to start building multiple streams of income, starting with just $500. The beauty is that the third one alone can eventually generate more income than the first two combined. If you got real value from this, share it with a friend who needs to hear it and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. I am working on a breakdown of how to automate the taxes for these streams, which is usually the part that trips most people up. You don't want to miss that. I will see you in the next one. Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint, but every step counts. Stay consistent, stay focused, and keep building.